Praise the Lord. Hi everybody. Welcome you all to this next session on integration. Dear students, in the previous session we were dealing with integration by parts and we are going to continue with the same topic and solve the remaining questions. Okay? ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಸೆಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಬೈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಲವು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ನ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕ್ವೆಶನಲ್ಲಿ ಉಳಿದಿರುವಂಥ ಕೆಲವು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ನ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಓಕೆ, well students, I hope you have known the procedure of integration by parts. Okay, so we are going to continue with it. I hope you would enjoy the session also. Right, the first question we are going to deal today is integral of e power x sin x dx. This is a very standard question, dear students. You can expect this for 3 marks. It has already been asked in the year 2017 and 18 for 3 marks. Okay, so as we start up with the let me give an introduction there. We know integration by parts is we will be having two functions, first and second function. So the process is keep the first function as it is and integrate the second minus the integral of derivative of the first function into whatever you have taken it, keep it as it is into dx. Okay, and along with that, considering the first and which function to consider as the first function, we will be using this shortcut method where we consider ILATE, where inverse trigonometric, logarithmic, algebraic, trigonometric and exponential. Okay, right. So in this question there are the two functions given is exponential e power x and trigonometric, that is sin x. Okay, so according to our rule, what we are going to do it is keep first function as it is. Which is the first function? So I'm going to consider trigonometric function as the first function. Okay, so trigonometric function is the first function and e power x is the second function. Okay, so what we are going to do it is, as we all know, integral of integration by parts rule is keep first function as it is. That is, you just keep sin x as it is, and remember now you integrate the second function, that is integral of e power x dx. Since this is the first question in this session, I'll use the entire procedure. So integral of differentiation of sin x, remember, okay, into this function, that is integral of e power x dx into dx. Okay, so this is nothing but sin x into, what is integral of e power x? So we know integral of e power x is e power of x itself minus integral of, now derivative of sin x we know it is cos x into, we know this function can write it as it is into dx. Okay, so this is the first step of integration by parts. Now we're going to do this integration by parts once again. Okay, so this is nothing but sin x into e power x as it is minus, again you have product of two functions, that is trigonometric and algebraic. So I'll keep first function as it is. Let me, since I have minus here, I'll keep minus outside. Keep first function as it is. Now integrate e power x. So integral of e power x is e power of x itself minus integral of, remember, derivative of sin x is what? Derivative of sin x is, derivative of cos x is minus sin x into this function as it is into dx. Okay, see what happens. This is nothing but you have sin x into e power of x minus again e power of x into cos x. Remove the bracket. Okay, now remember, minus of minus becomes plus, but again I have minus there, so this becomes minus of integral of, you have e power of x into sin x dx. Remember, left hand side is, let me consider the integral I. Okay, now you might be wondering, again you started with e power x sin x. Remember, I started with I is equal to integral of e power x sin x. So I am again landed with e power x sin x with the integral. So see what I'm going to do. So I will be nothing but in both these terms there is e power x common. So I'll write the remaining terms. So it is sin x minus, here the term is cos x. Okay, minus, I'm going to replace this entire thing as I. Okay, by equation 1. Okay, by using equation 1, I'm going to write it as I. So bring it to left hand side. I'll get I plus I is equal to e power of x into sin x minus cos x. Okay, we know I plus I is 2i. That is nothing but e power of x into sin x minus cos x, right? Therefore, I will be e power of x divided by 2 into sin x minus cos x. Remember, this is an indefinite integral. I'm going to take a constant plus c, which is the constant of integration. Okay, therefore, you can further replace this integral as, remember, therefore, you can write it as integral of e power of x into sin x dx. I means where I started with. So e power x into sin x dx will be nothing but e power of x divided by 2 into sin x minus cos x plus c. Okay, a very standard integral this is, and very easy one also, right? So this is how you do the process of integration by parts. Okay, shall we move on to the next question? Okay students, the next integral we have is integral of x into cos x. Remember, you have x that is algebraic and cos x which is trigonometric. According to our rule, algebraic comes first, so I'll consider cos x as the first function, x as the first function and cos x as the second function. Okay, so according to our procedure, let me keep first function as it is and integrate the second function. So that is integral of cos x dx, right, minus integral of derivative of this function which is x, okay, into whatever you have taken, write it as it is, integral of cos x dx. This is integrated with respect to x. Okay, so this is nothing but x into, we all know integral of cos x is nothing but a standard integral, it is sin x, right, minus integral of, now derivative of x with respect to x is 1 into integral of cos x is, as I told you, it is sin x into dx. Okay, so this is nothing but it is x sin x minus integral of, remember it is 1 into sin x is sin x dx. Okay, so this is nothing but x sin x minus, now what is integral of sin x? We all know integral of sin x dx is a standard function which is minus of cos x and plus c, this is the constant of integration. Okay, so you can further simplify this as x sin x minus of minus becomes plus cos x plus c, this is the constant of integration. Okay, so this is the final result for the above given function. Moving on to the next integral, we have integral of x into e power x. So I have an algebraic function and an exponential function. Remember, usually exponential comes for last. So algebraic function is taken as the first function and exponential function is taken as the second function. Okay, so this is first function and e power x is taken as the second function. So according to procedure, let us do it directly. Keep first function as it is, integrate e power x. So integral of e power x is e power of x itself minus integral of derivative of x. Derivative of x would be 1 and this e power x is e power x as it is with respect to x, that is integrated with respect to x. This would be nothing but x into e power x minus integral of 1 into e power x is e power x dx. Okay, very simple questions these are. So this is nothing but x into e power x minus integral of e power x is, it is again e power x plus c, which is the constant of integration. Okay, now let me further simplify this. In both the terms, I have e power x term as common, so the remaining terms would be x minus 1 plus c, which is the constant of integration, and that would conclude the solution. The next integral I have is integral of x into sin inverse x divided by root of 1 minus x squared. Dear students, before we use the integration by parts procedure for this, let me use some substitution here. and let me put it into the most simplified form. Let me put t is equal to sine inverse x and see what happens. So if you differentiate with respect to x, dt by dx would be, now derivative of sine inverse x is we know it, 1 divided by root of 1 minus x square. Therefore dt would be 1 divided by root of 1 minus x square into dx. This is the standard result. And one more thing, if t is equal to sine inverse x, therefore we will have sine t is nothing but x. Okay, that is applying sine on both sides. I think you are comfortable with this procedure in inverse trigonometric functions. Okay, so moving on, see what happens to the integral. This is nothing but integral of x. Now as I told you, what is x? X is nothing but sine t. Okay, into, now what is sine inverse x? As I told you, sine inverse x is t, and dx divided by root of 1 minus x square would be dt. Okay, so this has reduced to a very simplified form, sine t into t. Only thing is, in place of x, the integral is in terms of t. Now let us integrate with respect to t only. Again I have two functions here, algebraic, that is t is algebraic and sin x is trigonometric. So in this case I'll keep algebraic function as the first function and trigonometric function as the second function. Okay, so moving on, this is nothing but keep first function t, which is as it is. Okay, now integral of sin x, we know integral of sin x is minus cos t. Remember, we are integrating with respect to t. So integral of sin t is minus cos t minus integral of, remember, derivative of t with respect to t would be 1, and this term as it is, which is minus cos t dt. See what happens? This is nothing but minus t into cos t, minus of minus becomes plus, integral of what is the leftover? It is cos t dt. So this is nothing but minus t cos t, right, plus, now what is integral of cos? This is a standard integral. Integral of cos t is sin t plus c, which is the constant of integration. Okay, now let us replace back for t. This is nothing but minus of what is t? We know t is sin inverse x. Okay, now I have cos t here. We know that cos t is nothing but root of 1 minus sin square t, isn't it? We can write cos t as root of 1 minus sin square t plus, now sin t is nothing but I have x plus c, which is the constant of integration. Okay, so my final result would be, this is nothing but minus sin inverse x into root of 1 minus, we know sin t is nothing but x, so 1 minus x square plus x plus c, which is the constant of integration, and that is the final answer for the given integral. Okay, very simple, isn't it? The same, this is an worked example in your textbook, but they have used the different method. I preferred this is the simpler method than the textbook method. Okay, but don't worry, the final answer is same. Moving on to the next question, we have very similar question here. The previous one was x sin inverse x divided by root of 1 minus x square, but this is x cos inverse x divided by root of 1 minus x square. Remember, this was asked in the year 2017 July for once for 3 marks. Okay, let us proceed in a similar pattern. Let me put t is equal to, I hope you have guessed it, I will consider it as cos inverse x. Okay, therefore dt by dx, differentiation with respect to x would be derivative of cos inverse is, remember, minus 1 divided by root of 1 minus x square. Okay, so if you further simplify this, let me keep this minus left hand side. So minus dt will be 1 divided by root of 1 minus x square into dx. Okay, these are standard results here. And one more thing is, since you have taken t as cos inverse x, if you apply cos on both sides, you will get cos t as x. Okay, so this is the substitution part. I'm going to keep it aside and move on to the standard regular integral. Okay, see what happens now. This is nothing but integral of, so remember x will be nothing but cos t into cos inverse x is t into dx divided by root of 1 minus x square would be minus dt. So I will keep this minus outside and write dt. Okay, so this is nothing but, remember, minus should be neatly written, so I've kept minus outside. Now let me take integration by parts. As I told you, I have algebraic and trigonometric. Keep algebraic as the first function and trigonometric as the second function. So according to original procedure of integration by parts, I'm going to keep the first function as it is, and I'm going to do it directly. Integrate cos t. Now what is integral of cos t? We know it's a standard integral sin t, right? Minus integral of, now derivative of t with respect to t. Derivative of t with respect to t is 1, and this function as it is, which is sin t dt. Okay, so this is nothing but minus t sin t. Now minus of minus becomes actually plus integral of, this is sin t dt. Okay, so this is nothing but minus t sin t. Now plus, now what is integral of sin t? We all know integral of sin t is minus cos t plus c, which is the constant of integration, right? So further simplifying it and to write it into simplified form, both the terms have minus. I'm going to keep minus outside. Here let me substitute t. We know t is nothing but cos inverse x, okay, into sin t. We don't have anything in terms of sin here, but rather I have in terms of cos, and we know sin t is nothing but root of 1 minus cos square t. These are standard basic results of trigonometry. Okay, now because I have taken minus outside, plus cos t. What is cos t? We know cos t is equal to x plus c, which is the constant of integration. Okay, so the final result would be, this is nothing but minus cos inverse x, sorry, minus is for both the terms, cos inverse x into root of 1 minus cos t is nothing but x. So root of 1 minus x square plus x plus c. This is the constant of integration, and finally that concludes the process of integration by parts for the above given integral. Okay, these are very simple results. Only thing is practice clearly, right? So the next integral I have is a very special integral, integral of log x dx. Dear students, until now we have never used the integral of log x until now, because we don't have a standard result for log x. But today we are going to find the result for integral of log x, but here it is integration by parts. Now you might be wondering, sir, you have only one function, how do we take two functions here? So see the changes I'm going to make. I can write this as 1 into log x, isn't it? Log x can be written as 1 into log x dx, and this one I'm going to consider it as algebraic function, because we know, we all know x power 0 is equal to 1, isn't it? So whenever you have x power something, this is an algebraic function. So I have two functions now, algebraic and logarithmic. Okay, remember we have two functions, algebraic and logarithmic. So according to our guidance, we are going to consider log function as the first function and algebraic function as the second function. Okay, see what happens now, right? This is nothing but, keep first function as it is. Remember, first function is log x here. So keep first function as it is and integrate 1 dx. Integral of 1 dx minus integral of derivative of log x now. So derivative of log x into the same term, that is 1 dx. This is both, the product of both is integrated with respect to x. Okay, right. This is nothing but log x into, now what is integral of 1 dx? We all know integral of dx is x, right? Minus integral of, now derivative of log x is, we all know it is 1 by x into integral of 1 dx is, as I just told you, it is x, and this is integrated with respect to dx, with respect to x. Okay, so this is nothing but log x into x. Remember, write it as x log x. Please students, don't make a mistake of writing it as log of x square. No, it is not log of x square, it is x log x. Okay, minus, and here x and x cancels, you are just left over with integral of dx. Okay, so this is nothing but you have x log x minus integral of dx is nothing but x. Okay, plus c, which is the constant of integration, and this is the final result. If you want it, you can write it in this way. Take x common in both the terms, and you can write it as log x minus 1 plus c. Okay, right. So this is a standard integral. You can use it as a formula. Remember, integral of log x dx is nothing but x into log x minus 1 plus c, or else this is far more easy to remember, x log x minus x plus c. Okay, so standard result, remember, this can be asked for 3 marks in your examination, right? There is another result which you have a single function, which we are going to do as the next question. So the next question I have is similar to the previous one, a single function in the integral of tan inverse x dx. As I did in the previous question, I am going to continue the similar process. Remember, this was already asked in the year March 2014 for 3 marks once. Okay, let me write the given integral as 1 into tan inverse x dx. Okay, so this is nothing but using the procedure. I have an inverse trigonometric function and an algebraic function. Okay, so I'm going to consider the inverse isolate. So inverse trigonometric function as the first function and algebraic function as the second function. So according to our procedure, keep the first function as it is, that is tan inverse x, and integrate the second function, that is integral of 1 dx. Okay, minus integral of derivative of tan inverse x. Remember, derivative of tan inverse x into integral of 1 dx. The product of this is integrated with respect to x. See what happens. This is nothing but tan inverse x into, we know integral of 1 is x, right, minus integral of, now derivative of tan inverse x, we all know 1 divided by 1 plus x square into integral of 1 dx is x dx. Okay, so this is nothing but, remember, as we did in the previous case, don't write tan inverse of x square, rather it is x tan inverse x minus, I have integral of, this is of the form x dx divided by 1 plus x square. Okay, so here I am going to use the process of substitution to solve this. Let me put t is equal to 1 plus x square. Okay, therefore dt by dx would be, derivative of 1 is 0 and derivative of x square is 2x. Therefore, let me make some arrangement, dt by 2 would be x into dx. Okay, so this is the substitution part, be careful with it. Okay, now next, see what happens. This is nothing but x into tan inverse x minus, remember I have dt by 2, so I'll write that 1 by 2 outside, integral of, now x dx would be nothing but dt divided by 1 plus x square would be t, right. So this is nothing but, I have x tan inverse x minus half into, so we know this is a standard integral, integral of dt by t is log of mod t plus c, which is the constant of integration, right. So this is nothing but, this is x tan inverse x, okay, minus half into, replace back for t, log of mod t is nothing but 1 plus x square plus c. Okay, this is enough for you to give you 3 marks. If you want, you can further simplify this as x tan inverse x minus, as we all know, log of m power n can be written as n log m. So using it in the reverse way, I can write it as 1 plus x square power half plus c. You need not write this step, you can directly write the next step. So it is x tan inverse x minus log of mod, so power half is nothing but root, so it's root of 1 plus x square plus c, which is the constant of integration, and this would be the final answer for the above given integral. Okay. Moving on to the next integral, we have integral of x into secant square x dx. Remember, we have algebraic and trigonometric, IATE. So a and t is here. So I will consider x as the first function and secant inverse x as the second function. Okay, so according to the procedure of integration by parts, so keep the first function as it is, which is x. Okay, and integrate the second function, that is integral of secant square x dx, right, minus integral of, remember, you differentiate the function which was left kept as it is into whatever is here, this function, write it as it is, integral of secant square x dx. The product of these two is integrated with respect to x. Okay, isn't it? Standard result it is. This is nothing but x into, now we know integral of secant square x dx is a standard integral. Do you remember? Yes, look here. We know the standard integral of secant square x dx is nothing but tan x plus c. So using it, see what happens. Integral of secant square, I am going to write it as tan x. So this is x tan x minus integral of, now derivative of x with respect to x would be 1, and integral of secant square is, just now I told you, it is tan x, and this is integrated with respect to x. So this becomes x tan x minus integral of, remember 1 into tan x is tan x dx, right. So this is nothing but x tan x minus, I hope you remember, again a standard integral for tan of x. What is the standard integral for tan x? Again we know you can either write it as integral of tan x is log of mod secant x, or you can write it as minus log of cos x plus c. Okay, so it's up to you which one you are going to use it. I'm going to use log of mod secant x plus c, which is the constant of integration. You can either write this, okay, or it is also same as x tan x. So if you write log of cos, remember you have to take minus outside. So minus of minus becomes plus log of modulus of cos x plus c, and both are the same results. Okay, and that would be the final answer. Moving on to the next question, friends. We have I is equal to sine inverse of x whole square dx. Okay, so as we have done in the previous two questions, when you have only one function, I am going to treat there is function 1 as another function and sine inverse of x whole square dx. So I have inverse trigonometric function because its sine inverse x is an inverse trigonometric function, and 1 which is the algebraic function. So as we all know, which one I am going to consider? Remember, always inverse trigonometric function will be taken as the first function. So inverse trigonometric function is taken as the first function, and 1 is taken, that is algebraic function, is taken as the second function. See what happens. So as we all know, keep first function as it is, that is sine inverse of x whole square, okay, and integrate 1. So we all know integral of 1 is x, right, minus integral of, now derivative of sine inverse 2 times sine inverse of x, isn't it? Sorry, derivative of sine inverse of x whole square. Now it is f of x square. Derivative of f of x square is 2 times f of x, that is 2 times sine inverse x into derivative of sine inverse x. So this becomes into 1 divided by root of 1 minus x square, okay, into this x as it is. So this is integrated with respect to x, okay. So this becomes, remember, you will get x into sine inverse of x whole square minus, now I am going to keep this 2 constant outside. See what happens to the integral. I will get x into sine inverse x divided by root of 1 minus x square dx. Okay, I hope you have seen this result just few minutes ago, because we just solved the same result for 3 marks separately, isn't it? So we have solved this result x into sine inverse x whole square divided by root of 1 minus x square dx, and we have landed with the same result, x into sine inverse x divided by root of 1 minus x square. Okay, so we're going to proceed in the similar pattern. Okay, so what I'm going to do it is, I'm going to substitute here. Okay, so for my substitution part, I'm going to put t is nothing but sine inverse x. Okay, this question is too much for 3 marks, but if they give you, you don't have any other option rather than doing it. So differentiate with respect to x, dt by dx would be, derivative of sine inverse x would be 1 divided by root of 1 minus x square. Okay, therefore dt would be 1 divided by root of 1 minus x square into dx. Okay, finally, if t is equal to sine inverse x, if you apply sine on both sides, you will get sine t is nothing but x. Okay, remember, this is the substitution part. Keeping the substitution part aside, you are going to get, this is nothing but, this is x sine inverse x whole square minus 2 into integral of, the integral will turn into x is nothing but sine t, okay, into sine inverse x is t, and this entire leftover term would be dt. Okay, so again we are left over with a product of two functions. We are going to use the integration by parts once again. You have algebraic function and trigonometric function. I'm going to consider algebraic first and trigonometric as the second one. Okay, so see what happens. This is x into sine inverse of x whole square minus 2 into, let me use integration by parts. Keep first function as it is. Now integral of second function. So integral of sine is, we all know, it is minus cos. Okay, minus integral of, now derivative of t with respect to t would be 1, and this function as it is, which is minus of cos t dt. Okay, so see what happens. This is x into sine inverse x whole square. Okay, now minus of minus becomes plus 2t cos t, right? Now I have minus of minus here, which becomes plus, but because I have minus here again, I'll get minus 2 into integral of, this is cos t dt, right? So this becomes x into sine inverse of x whole square plus 2t cos t minus 2 into, we know integral of cos is the sine function, so it is sine t plus c. Okay, right. So this is nothing but, let me replace back for t. I have x into sine inverse x whole square as it is plus 2 times, now what is t? We know t is sine inverse x. Now we don't, throughout the term we don't have cos t, as we know it, cos t can be written as 1 minus sine square t, isn't it? Okay, minus 2 into, as I told you, what is sine t? Sine t is x plus c, this is the constant of integration. Hence, my final result would be x into sine inverse of x whole square plus 2 times sine inverse x into root of 1 minus, sine square t can be written as x square. Okay, so I'll write root of 1 minus x square. So minus 2x plus c, which is the constant of integration, and this would be the final answer for the given integral. Understood? Right. Moving on to the next one, I have integral of x into log x whole square. Okay, so I have two functions here. One is an algebraic, one is logarithmic. So generally we take log as the first function and x as the algebraic as the second function. So the process of integration by parts is, keep first function as it is, that is log x whole square. Okay, into integral of x. Now what is, let me take it. So integral of x dx, okay, minus integral of derivative of log x whole square. Remember, because I had taken log x as it is. So derivative of log x whole square into integral of x dx. The product of this is integrated with respect to x. Okay, Please be careful with the steps. So log x whole square is kept as it is. Now integral of x would be x square by 2, okay, minus integral of, now derivative of f of x square is 2 times f of x. So 2 times log x into derivative of log x is we know it is 1 by x, into integral of x would be x square by 2. The product of this is integrated with respect to x. Okay, so see what happens. This is nothing but, let me write this term as it is. So it is x square by 2 into log x whole square, right? Minus, now 2 and 2 gets cancels, 1x gets cancels. So you are left over with x into log x dx. Okay, again it's a product of two functions. I have algebraic and logarithmic. So I'm going to consider log as the first function and algebraic as the second function. Okay, so this is nothing but x square divided by 2 into log x whole square minus, let me use integration by parts. Keep first function as it is, integral of x. So integral of x would be x square by 2 minus integral of, now we know derivative of log x is 1 by x into this term as it is, which is x square by 2. This is integrated with respect to x. Okay, so this becomes, it is x square by 2 into log x whole square minus, again I have x square by 2 into log x, minus of minus becomes plus. Okay, 1x gets cancels. I have a constant outside in the denominator. I will take 1 by 2 outside. I am just left over with x dx, isn't it? So the final answer would be x square by 2 into log of x whole square minus x square by 2 into log x, okay, plus, remember integral of x would be x square by 2. Remember, I already have 2 outside. I am going to write it as x square by 4 plus c, which is the constant of integration, and that would be the final answer for the above given integral. Dear students, the next question we have in the integral is, in your exercise is integral of x square into e power x cube dx. But this question, you need not use the integration by parts. You can use it by substitution method itself, because that is more easier than this method. Okay, and one more thing is, he will not tell you that evaluate the given integral by parts or by whichever method it is. He will just ask you to evaluate or find. So it's up to you to find whichever method you want. Okay, so let me put here t as x cube. Okay, differentiate with respect to x. You have dt by dx is nothing but, now what is derivative of x cube? We know derivative of x cube is 3x square. Therefore, rewriting this as dt by 3 would be x square into dx. Okay, this is the substitution part. Therefore, integral becomes, this is nothing but, now x square dx would be nothing but dt by 3. I will write this result 1 by 3 constant outside, integral of e power t dt. Okay, the integral will become e power t dt. That is nothing but 1 by 3 into integral of e power t is e power t itself plus c, which is the constant of integration. Okay, so the final answer would be 1 by 3 into e power derivative of, t is nothing but x cube plus c, the constant of integration, and that will give you the solution for this question. So the next integral we have is integral of e power 2x into sin x dx. We have an exponential function and a trigonometric function. Okay, so according to our process, we will consider the sine function, that is trigonometric function, as the first function and the e power 2x as the second function. So this becomes, keep first function as it is, which is the first function, keep sin x as it is. Okay, integral of e power 2x is, remember, it is e power 2x divided by 2 minus integral of, now what is derivative of sine. So it is derivative of the function which is kept as it is. Derivative of sine is cos into write this function as it is, which is e power of 2x divided by 2. This is integrated with respect to x. Okay, so this is nothing but I will get half into e power x sine x, okay, minus, let me keep this half outside, I have integral of e power 2x, sorry, I have e power 2x here. So e power 2x into cos x dx. Again I have a product of two functions, so I will consider which function? So trigonometric function as the first function. The rest of the terms I will write as it is. So half into e power 2x into sine x minus this half, let it be outside. Now let me go for integral of e power 2x into cos x. So let me use by parts. Keep first function as it is, which is cos x. Integral of e power 2x would be e power of 2x divided by 2 minus integral of, remember, derivative of cos x. We all know derivative of cos x is minus sin x into this function as it is, which is e power 2x divided by 2. This is integrated with respect to x. Is it clear? Right. Next, this is nothing but 1 by 2 into e power 2x, okay, into sin x, right, minus, I have by 2 here, another 1 by 2 is outside, so I can write it as 1 by 4 into e power 2x cos x, okay. Now I have minus of minus here, so that becomes plus, and I have an outside minus, so that would be again a minus here, and I have 1 by 2 here, another 1 by 2, so this would be 1 by 4 into integral of, remember, I will get e power 2x into sin x dx, okay. Actually you can see there, that is where I started with integral of e power 2x into sin x as I, okay. Therefore I would be nothing but, look here, I have in both the terms, if I take 1 by 4 outside, remember, if I take 1 by 4 outside, I will write 2 times and also e power 2x as it is, okay, because in both the terms I have e power 2x. So remember, 2 into 2 divided by 4 would be 1 by 2, okay. So I'll write 2 sin x, okay, minus 1 e power 2x by 4 is outside, it is cos x minus, this is 1 by 4 into I, remember. Why did I take I? By using equation 1. So by equation 1, I am using e power 2x into sin x as I, okay. See what happens. So bring this term to left hand side. I have I plus 1 by 4 I, okay. So this would be e power 2x divided by 4 into 2 sin x minus cos x, okay. Now if I take I common, you will get I plus 1 by 4 I would be, if you take the LCM you will get 5 by 4 I is nothing but e power 2x divided by 4 into 2 sin x minus cos x, okay. Now one more thing is, you can note here 4 is common in the denominator in both the LHS and RHS. Therefore you have 5i is nothing but e power 2x into 2 sin x minus cos x, okay. But what I have is 5i, I want the value of I, okay. So finally what happens? Divide by 5, we get I is equal to e power 2x divided by 5 into 2 sin x minus cos x plus c, which is the constant of integration, okay. So this would be the final answer for the above given integral. Okay dear students, we shall consider one last question for the session. I have integral of sine inverse of 2x divided by 1 plus x square, okay. Now let me substitute something here. Let me put tan inverse x. Okay, I will put tan inverse of t as x. Sorry, let me put tan inverse of x as t. Okay, see what happens. Therefore, if you apply tan on both sides, you will get x is nothing but tan t. Okay, so if you differentiate, you will get what is derivative of tan inverse x? It is 1 divided by 1 plus x square. Okay, this is nothing but derivative of t would be dt by dx. Okay, therefore you can see what happens here, or else instead of that, the simpler method would be differentiate this with respect to t. That okay, I've considered x as tan t, therefore dx by dt would be derivative of tan would be secant square t dt. Okay, so dt I already have here, so I need not write dt also. So dx by dt would be secant square t. Okay, therefore dx would be secant square t dt. Okay, so shall we substitute? This becomes integral of, I will have sine inverse of, remember 2 times what is t? We know t is nothing but, sorry, t is nothing but tan inverse of x, or x is nothing but tan t. So I have 2 tan t divided by 1 plus x means x square would be tan square t, and dx would be secant square t dt. Okay, this is the substitution part. Let would be kept aside. Okay, so this becomes integral of sine inverse of, remember this is the result, 2 tan theta divided by 1 plus tan square theta would be sine 2 theta. So it would be sine 2t into secant square t dt. Okay, so sine inverse and sine would be nullified because 2t would be in the range of sine inverse x. So my result would be integral of 2 times t into secant square t dt. Okay, so let us further simplify this. 2 is a constant, let me keep it outside. Integral of, the integral will reduce to t into secant square t dt. Okay, therefore again now I have the product of two functions. One is algebraic, one is trigonometric, because secant is trigonometric, isn't it? So I will consider t algebraic as the first function and trigonometric as the second function. So this is nothing but 2 is a constant. Let me keep it as it is. Now keep first function as it is, which is t integral of secant square. We all know integral of secant square is tan t. Okay, minus integral of derivative of t with respect to t would be 1, and this tan t as it is. Okay, dt, right? We shall write the constant c later, right? So this is nothing but 2 into t tan t. Okay, t tan t minus integral of tan t dt. Okay, so this becomes, 2 is constant, let it remain outside. I have t tan t minus, what is integral of tan? We all know integral of tan t is, we know integral of tan t is log of secant t. So using it, I will get log of mod secant t actually, remember. Okay, right? I'm going to write the constant plus c, the last step, right? See what happens. Let me substitute. This is nothing but 2 into, substitute back for t. Now what is t? You can look here. T is nothing but tan inverse of x. So this becomes, in place of t, I am using tan inverse of x, into, in place of tan t, I am using x. Okay, minus log of mod. Now I want secant t. I don't have secant t anywhere here. Rather, I can write secant t as, any guesses for secant t in terms of tan? So the standard result of trigonometry, 1 plus tan square is secant square theta. So secant t can be written as root of 1 plus tan square t, okay, plus see, let me take it now. Okay, see what happens now. Therefore, let me write this as, let me multiply 2 here. Now 2 into, I'll write it as x tan inverse x, right, minus 2 into log of mod root of 1 plus, remember tan t is x, so tan square t is nothing but x square plus c. Okay, this will do for you to get 3 marks, but if you want to simplify it further, you can write it as 2x tan inverse x minus, using the properties of logarithms, this 2 can be taken as a power, so it is root of 1 plus x square whole square plus c. Okay, now square and root gets cancelled, so my final answer would be 2x into tan inverse x minus log of mod 1 plus x square plus c, which is the constant of integration. And this would be the final answer for the above given integral. Okay, now dear students, we are going to conclude this session here, and there are few more questions which are in this exercise, okay, but which do not belong to the process of integration by parts. We don't do that by the process of integration by parts, rather we are going to do it in the different method. Okay, so we are going to see that results in the next session. ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಬೈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದಂತಹ ಕೆಲವು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ನ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನು ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಸೈಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಅದು ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಬೈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಬೇರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಷನಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಓಕೆ, right students, I hope you have understood this session. Practice this well, because this is a very important concept in the process of integration. Okay, so we'll come back and meet again everybody in the next session of integration. Until then, take care and bye.